Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the 505 podcast. Chase.
All right,
This
dude.
is great to have you.
You know what I was just thinking about? It was funny when I was playing that on my phone. I remember when we had Jordan, the founder of Stay Amo. I remember when I played it on my phone, he was like, this is pretty janky. I remember feeling like that. I wanted to like tell him like, no, man, this is just like what we do to like edit in later. But I just remember thinking he was like, what is this shit? Like he like just walked in.
There's a method to the madness.
There is, yeah. Did we know what we're doing?
Yeah, of course we know what we're doing. Where were you at? Where you were gone?
Oh man, I've been around. I had a Sweet Genesis shoot, fucking somewhere, I don't remember. And then I just did Kia Niro, the whole thing for Kia Niro. And there was, dude, it's kind of actually, well, there was a shit ton of cars, an unbelievable amount of cars. And I was like, are we going to be, I wasn't fully briefed before I got there. I was like, are we going to be crashing cars this week? That's what I was hoping for. I was like, this hotel's
just
sick.
ramming a bunch of Niros into each other.
I was like, maybe we'll ram like off the, for a TikTok or something, like maybe speed in the ocean. No,
they
we
just
didn't.
fly them off the roof.
They just had like a ton of them. And it was literally, actually, it was funny. And I don't know if she listened to the podcast. The art director I was working with said, it's just B-roll nation. That's what she said.
That's her favorite.
That's literally what she said for the Kia. She was like, Kia just wants B-roll nation of all these cars. And
That's
like,
what we do
I was
best.
like, I got a Ronin. Let's do it. But
Dude, I used the Ronin. I stole Kostas' Ronin. He let me take it to San Francisco, and let me tell you, dude, it was sick. But you know what? Fatal flaw. I go look at so I get all this stuff. Guys walking onto the plane with our nice little lens. It's super wide, and I'm like, dude, this is great. I'm the Ronin guy now. I go look at the footage, and there's just a ton of little black dots all over the sensor.
what?
So that was sick. Yeah. So if note to self for all of you listening, if you have a camera and you crank up the aperture high, if there's any dust on the sensor, you'll be able to see it when it's cranked up really high because you're letting more stuff be in focus. And so
Yeah.
if there's little spots on your lens, they become in
Is
focus.
that, because I was wondering that. Because
If you're at 2.8, they won't be there.
yeah,
because it's so shallow.
If you're like, is that why though? Because I just know that if I, especially on like my old camera, my A6500, which I'm actually selling. So if you want to buy my A6500, DM me. Great camera. Shot everything
That
with
was
it
my
for so long.
second camera.
Yeah, me too. Fucking love that camera. But I'm like, I can't go past like F11 or there's just going to be black dots all over the place. And
Yeah.
I never knew why, but you're so right. It's just like out of focus. When
Yeah,
you're
because
shallow.
it's super shallow. Yeah,
Weird. Dude,
But
that
you gotta get
sucks.
them. You gotta get rid of them. I bought a sensor cleaning kit. It's like $10, and now I have 20 of them. So
Oh, smart.
if you
Dude.
need them,
Yeah,
give your
dude,
boy a call.
fucking, I
Give your boy a call. When we were in SF though, I was messing around with the lens, and we got to go on the road, so that was great. Saw Chase Center, and the boys were just firing, dude. We're looking good.
Oh, yeah. The Lakers?
Oh, we're looking good.
Oh, really?
Dude, we play your boys tonight, but we have
I
one
know.
of your boys on our team now with
Right,
Pat Bev.
right. I know, dude. I'm pretty pumped about the Wolves.
The Wolves?
Yeah, dude. We got fucking. Well, I was listening to this podcast. I listen to a lot of sports podcasts. They were talking about how, you know, they were like Rudy and Edwards. I'm like, you forgetting about Cat, dude. I feel like we got a lot of talent right now. I don't know. I feel like we're probably gonna disappoint.
It'll be a good game.
I think we'll be like good regular season, fall apart in the playoffs like we normally do. But same with the Vikings, dude. Vikings are looking sick right now, but they're just keep squeaking out wins against shitty teams.
Hey, you know what? A win's a win
Win's
in
a
the
win,
column. We shot I shot something last week. Also used the Ronin again. It was sick. But we were using it for J Rock, who
Nice.
sings the song. For those of you who don't know who he is, win, win, win,
Yeah.
win. That guy,
Which is a great idea for a Lakers thing.
the pump
Yeah.
up song,
Yeah.
right? So we shot something. Anyways, this is super funny because all my fellow rocks out there listening, we roll up, right? It's like 8 a.m. J Rock rolls up, and I'm gonna call him J Rock, right? J Rock.
You don't know what to call him.
Yeah, I go, hey, what's up? I'm Braden. Super nice to meet you. And he goes, it's just rock. And I was like, in my head, I immediately am like dying laughing,
Yeah.
but I'm trying to keep a super straight face and be
Yeah.
like, what's up, man? Yeah, okay, just rock, straight rock, nothing in front. He goes, nothing in front, nothing behind. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So the whole day we're sitting there, I'd be like, rock, action. And then I was just dying the whole time. Like, rock, could I get you just standing over here? And it was just like, he had no idea that I was like,
Right.
how funny I think the word rock is and what it means to
It's also just
all of our
probably
buddies.
made you feel so comfortable.
Yeah, for
This is
sure.
just how I talk to
I'd
my
just be
friends.
like, hey, rock, could you just pop over
Dude,
here?
that is so funny.
It was unbelievable. And then I
Cool
told,
guy?
yeah, he was super cool. He was super chill. It was funny because I'd be like, yo, you want to just walk? He goes, I got you, dog. I got you. I got you. Don't. He's like, I've done done this before? I'm like, you're right. You have done this before. I do this, you do that.
Yeah.
That's great. We're both on the same page.
Dude, I feel like working with like rappers and athletes are usually great. Especially I feel like athletes because of what they do for a living, they're just like focused and they're just like ready to fucking
He's like,
roll.
let's just, dude, it was supposed to be like a 2.5 hour shoot, and we were in and out in like an hour 10.
I love that.
And he was like, well, this is the best. I was like, let's go, Rock. Come on.
Dude, that's so funny. His name's Rock. Do you know his real name? Have we looked it up?
Yeah,
yet?
it's Johnny, but so Jay I think was a nickname, and he said he got the name Rock because he had a rock shaped head as a kid.
Funny.
Yeah, so then people started calling him like J Rock, and then he's like, yeah, I don't go by Johnny anymore. It's either Eastside Johnny, J Rock, or J or Rock. I was like, okay, nice.
But he prefers Rock.
He preferred Rock. Yeah, it was really funny. But we had a great shoot, and maybe if you're on the Lakers social pages, you will see this J Rock video that we made. Yeah, it was really funny.
And you're gonna be traveling a bunch, right?
We're gonna be traveling. We're gonna be making videos, traveling it up. It was funny. We were in SF, and we had acquired a player that was his name's LJ Figueroa.
Oh, funny.
So we don't look a lot alike. You know, we're both of Hispanic descent, I think. You know, Figueroa. And so, anyways, we're getting on the plane, and they're like, "You're already on the plane." I go, I'm not on the plane. I'm right here. I'm not the player. I'm the guy. And
that's
the regular guy. And then she was like, okay. And then we get to the hotel, and LJ had taken my room key. So I get there, and
God, so they just can't figure it out.
No, but it was the Delta people, and then LJ accidentally took my key because he's like, bro, I rolled up and I see Big Figueroa, and I'm like, oh, they messed up. It's okay. Like, I'm new. It was the first day, you know? And so he took my key, and I go, I think you're in my room. He goes, oh man. So we swapped keys, and then he went back up. I was like level. I was up on a higher level, a much higher level than I'm used to on the thing. And I was like, whoa, I'm on a way higher level today. And then I look at the thing and go, oh, this is for the player. So then we swapped back, and then he got his room. We were all squared away.
The sick thing about you traveling for work is that they put you in like sick hotels.
We were in a very nice hotel.
I'm so jealous.
It is ridiculous. We get to go with them in those nice hotels.
I got a taste of the good life on that last Kia shoot. I finally got a nice hotel. It's so much more fun. It's nice hotels. Fucking sick, dude.
But would you pay it on your own?
Never.
No, I don't think I would either.
So that's the thing. That's why I'm fine.
That's why it's the best thing ever when you go for work.
Exactly. Because like I'm fine staying in the Holiday Inns, you know, but like that's what I'm going to put myself in. But like that's what I was trying to think of, like a joke, but I didn't know how to word it when I was like in that nice hotel. I was like, this is how you know that I don't have the budget. Because when I have the budget, it's like we are staying. But
we're at the Motel 6.
Yep.
We're trying to rough it, and we got to save money. That's awesome. It's funny
I'm
though.
I'm so jealous of that.
Kostas says hi to all of you because he's in the blue ass waterland right now. Right. He's surfing it up.
He's the third person of 3 to go there. You know, he's a little behind.
Yeah, a little behind. He's about 4 or 5 years behind. But it's okay. Everybody's got to go once.
I feel like he's gonna have a great trip. It seems like, and I don't remember where you stayed. I feel like we were like in like the heart of it and shit. I feel like he's maybe more like in like in
the surfer community,
which is cool too.
I could see
different.
I didn't get to spend a ton of time in Uluwatu, which is where the surf community is at.
I was like there for like a day.
Same. I was there for like 2 or 3 days. So it wasn't, I didn't really get to experience. So I mean, we'll find out if he likes it or not.
Do we know? I told him to go to Noosa. I told him to go to Noosa Penida 100 times.
He should go to Noosa Penida.
I thought that was the coolest part.
Yeah, Noosa Penida. I forgot to put it on his list, but I told him in person that he should go.
Yeah, I texted it to him.
You did?
Because my buddy Jacob, who shout out Jacob, does all the whenever we go on like this annual trip, he researches, he talks to multiple sources, he compiles all the things, and then I was like, hey, do you have Bali back? He just sent me like the stock that he still had locked and loaded.
That's perfect.
Names and everything.
Noosa Penida was
sick, dude. If you can go, fucking go.
I remember we were going to Noosa Penida, and we got there. There was this that arch, you know. Since I just got a new drone today, guys. I got the FPV drone.
It's so funny because I also flew my drone under this exact fucking arch.
No way. Yeah. Did it make it out?
Wait, what year did you go again?
I went in 2019.
Okay, I was there 2018. So yeah,
we're there's this like little arch thing at this beach. It's called Broken Beach, and this local guy walks up to me as we're pulling up to the spot. And he goes, yo, because we had cameras, the big Joby Gorilla Pod. So they're like, oh, these guys like obviously make videos and shit. And he walked up to me and he's like, yo, no drone under arch. And I'm like, dude, this is why I drove 2 hours to come here, dog. I'm gonna fly the drone under the arch. He goes, tourists lose drones under the arch. And I'm like, I gotta take this chance, dude. We just drove 2 hours, you know? So I get out the drone, I start flying, going under the arch, and right as I'm under the arch, it loses signal. And the silly ass little drone, I'm literally looking at it, and it tries to return home, and it just goes to the top, boop, and just goes right in the water. And the local guy was right there, and he goes, "I told you." And I'm like, "Dude, you didn't say that."
Oh, I didn't know that. So
he said it. He said everything.
Because you lost like signal.
100%, dude. He knew. I mean, he knew. He's like, "I've seen lots of guys do this," and I was like, "Well, the drone should be fine. It's got sensors because it's got sensors on it, but it doesn't have sensors on the top."
No, it does not have
fatal
sensors
flaw. Fatal flaw.
Yeah, which I think I don't know if they changed it or not, dude. So okay, this story is kind of inappropriate, but I have to tell it. My girlfriend doesn't listen to the podcast, I don't think. So we went to Nusa Penida. It's beautiful. You get that view of like that beach that everyone goes to. You know what I mean?
The T-Rex beach.
The T-Rex beach. So we're on the top, unbelievably beautiful, and we're like, it's kind of rainy, but I'm like, we gotta hike down. I'm only gonna be here once, probably in my entire life. I want to hike to that big, like the cool beach on the bottom.
Yes.
We hiked all the way down. I think I sprained my ankle like twice. It was terrible.
wore sandals on that thing.
I was in. I know.
Rainbow
I was in
sandals.
fake Yeezys.
That's great.
I still have them.
Even better.
Yeah. But went all the way down. It was so hard. It was fucking grueling. We get to the beach. And then we go straight into the water and just get absolutely fucking tossed, dude. Like
big waves.
Like I have my buddy Jacob has a GoPro video of it. It's on my YouTube actually. I think the whole Asia video, but just get absolutely sauced. Like I for a while we were like, oh, we're all dead, and then we all popped up. Anyways, then and why is it inappropriate? We all pop up, and I'm trying to think of an appropriate way to say this. There's a woman with the most beautiful figure that anyone's ever seen, and we were all like, okay, we're hallucinating, this is crazy. Like we literally were like, this is not real. We died in the water, and I was tired. I remember talking to Jacob about it, and we're like, we're dead, like we are not alive, like there's no way this is real. And it was, and that's all it was. We didn't look that long. I just wanted to share that because that reminded me of it. You know, I was respectful, but we're just like, what the fuck? No way that's real. And then we went back up the steps.
And you went right back up the 49-minute steps.
Yeah, and I still remember it.
And you made it all the way back, all the way back up to the land. Well, on that note, I think today's pod is going to be very fun because the last time we did this, you guys loved the episode. It destroyed numbers wise. It was how to create your personal brand and basically all the things that go into your personal brand and like how you should be thinking about, you know, what you want to talk about on social, all that good stuff. Yeah. Today's episode, though, is going to be like hard facts on how we can get that trajectory going up.
So you can build it, and then you got to kind of
if you build it, they will come, and we got to push it off the diving board. Right. We got to get into the deep water.
Right.
So I think here's though why you should give a shit about all of this stuff, because I think it's very important right now in 2022. I think having a personal brand is damn near like gold.
It's really, really important, especially
it's currency.
And it's not even if you're trying to be like an influencer. It's literally for like anything that you're trying to make money or even something else. Like, it's just really applicable to anything.
And I think right now, if you go do a deep dive on TikTok, like even the drink company that is on this table, Poppy, saw, I can't remember, I don't want to say a percentage that's wrong, but it was tremendous growth off of their founder video going viral, got like a few million views organically without any paid marketing, and they soared in sales. So that just should show you why you should care about your personal brand and why talking about, you know, what you think and what you believe and what you're about is super important right now. And I think a lot of us, we think that, you know, they're like, I don't know if I can talk, for example, for myself, right? I'm a filmmaker, and someone would look at me and say, okay, well, you can only talk about filmmaking.
Right. But
that's not what everything Bfig's about, right? So like I sometimes go to the gym. Yeah. And so that is now a part of the personal brand. I sometimes do, you know, whatever else. There's multiple things that you can add into your personal brand. It's not going to hurt you. It's, if anything, someone's going to see that and be like, oh, he's also a fitness dude. He's about that lifestyle. I'm fit as well. I want to follow along this guy's journey.
And then you may get work in like the fitness space or like a marathon space or like something like that. It's funny. It's funny they say that because I used to have these inklings. This was like in high school. This is like, no, maybe college. But I was like, I was like a video guy, right? And that's what my Instagram was. But I was like, I also love to swim in cold water. And I was like, I'm going to put that on my Instagram every time because that just like fits in the buckets. You almost have to like make a list. And it's not like, of course, you're not going to be able to show who you entirely are on Instagram. Yeah, it's not possible. The whole point. That's what this is, a personal brand, which is like maybe like 5 things. And you just stick to those 5 things and you put them in there. And then we're going to talk to you about, growing and why it's important.
Definitely. And so I've picked out a few different guys that I think have done well with their personal brands and how they've used the personal brand to leverage other things into their businesses. So guy that I really respect, guy that's big right now on social, huge on TV. His name's Ryan Serhant. If you don't know him, go check him out. So he started on a show called Selling Sunset, where basically they're selling these mega mansions in Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills, and whatnot. Or I mean, I think in just Los Angeles, whatever, right? So Ryan took this, got a little bit of fame, a little bit of following from the show. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to invest it back and we're going to create YouTube vlogs. Don't know what this is going to look like, but we're going to do them.
Right.
It's going to be great. So he started making a YouTube vlog and it was really successful. It was doing great numbers. And anyways, he ended up selling homes, multi-million, tens of millions of dollars, these mansions to people from New York City, like in New York, that hadn't even been to New York. They just wanted to buy the home because he's the guy selling it.
Dude. That is so
and
crazy.
They inquired though, because they found a YouTube video. So
That's insane.
He invests in a videographer. He invests in the equipment to make these YouTube videos, puts his time, the biggest commitment into these YouTube videos. And now he's seeing the fruits of his labor because he's selling, these multi-million dollar homes because of his personal brand, because someone saw it and they're like, yo, this guy's getting up at 4 a.m. He's nuts. He's going to the gym. He's working his ass off. He's taking care of his family, whatever. They're like, I align with this person.
Right.
I like this guy.
Right.
I'm going to buy a home from Ryan Serhant.
And that's what's crazy. That's like the thing about you talking about going to the gym. That's like just a part of what you do on the socials and everything. It's like, people, you never know what people are going to reach from that. Like people think, oh, like he works hard and he goes to the gym. He's like a focused guy. Yeah. He's like going to make me a good video. Yeah. He's not going to fuck me off because or like, oh, I go to the gym too. Like, you know, like I know the people that go to the gym and that means you have work ethic.
Completely.
And like,
exactly. And
so like,
you got all these different little things that play into, your personal brand. And Gary Vee, for example, love him or hate him, right? The guy's making a lot of content on every social platform, right? His goal isn't for, he doesn't care if you hate him.
Right.
What he wants though is a number 2, number 3, number 4 at a company to see the piece of content and be like, yo, I don't know what we're doing, but it's not working right now.
Right.
And what VaynerMedia has something for us, let's give him a call. And so he's closing 7-figure deals because his team is creating all this content for him, posting it, and they're like, you know what? Let's give him a call. Let's sign up with VaynerMedia. Let's get Coca-Cola with Vayner. And they have all these crazy companies that got like, their list is ridiculous. Go on their website. It's crazy the companies they work with.
And it's just because, he's obviously grown his personal brand to be fucking ginormous. Yep. Like it's insane.
Big as hell.
And they're like, maybe even companies just see that and they're like, I just like this guy. I don't know where this fits for us. Like I don't even know how this fits, but I know that this is good and what we're doing is good and together it will probably work. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And one last example I can think of as far as personal brands that have just done a great job. Cole Bennett wearing the hat today.
Respect.
Directing a video today. So Cole Bennett created a company called Lyrical Lemonade. Now Lyrical Lemonade makes music videos for rappers, but he started out doing them for more like an underground rappers in SoundCloud, in the SoundCloud era. So we get these kids that are making great music on SoundCloud and he'd be the one to make their videos and then they'd start to blow up. And so he's now built this brand to over 10 million followers on YouTube, which is ridiculous. It's bigger than his Instagram's at like 1 or 2 million or whatever. The brand's at over like 4 million on the gram, so he's built this huge audience now. And now you have these rappers that are like, yo, instead of it being, yo, can I please work with you as a director? They're like, yo, let us please get a music video from Cole Bennett.
They're like, I'm going to make a song so that Cole Bennett will work with me. Which is crazy.
Insane. Dude. He's flipped it on its head because he's created this incredible thing. And now, the guy's doing music festivals and he's doing NFTs and all kinds of crazy shit. But it all stemmed from him creating his own personal brand and then building it up,
Totally. And I think I've talked about this before, but my buddy in high school, Jay, who flies drones, he used to just make all sorts of videos. He'd shoot whatever, edit some stuff, fly the drones a little bit. And then I remember it's funny because I was talking to him, like I was home a couple years ago and I was like, what are you working on now? Because we used to always shoot stuff together. He's like, dude, I think I'm just going to do FPV. He's like, I really like FPV. He's like, I'm not making money from it, but like, I love it. And then he made one free video for that fucking bowling alley that went stupid viral.
That was a free video. It's even crazier.
Yeah. And now it's just FPV all the time. Every time I talk to him, he's flying FPV somewhere, doing something cool, but he's just he's just FPV guy. That's his personal brand, right? Yeah. His personal brand is I do like these wonder things. And it's crazy it's not saying like you have to go viral to like have a big personal brand because it's really hard to go viral. Yeah. It does help though. When I thought this podcast clip was going viral, that one about the 07, I thought we were going to the fucking moon. And sure, maybe we have like 10 more listeners nowadays, but it is important though.
It's crazy though, because I think right now, back when we started making videos and stuff, it wasn't this, you had to have some sort, people had to already have a reason to care about you, I would say, for the content to perform well. They'd be like, yo, why is Mike making videos about this? Who cares, Mike? Whatever, right? But now you have the opportunity to be a random person from wherever in the country or in the world, doesn't matter, to post a video on TikTok and wake up with 10,000 people that now care about what you're saying.
Right, which is crazy.
Never in the world in a time period has that ever been a thing. Ever.
It's just going to become more and more and more like that.
But right now, you know, so you got to take advantage of stuff, and we're going to give you some platforms and what it is that you can talk about on these platforms to help you grow. You know, I think one of the biggest things though that you got to figure out before we start going gung ho and making a bunch of stuff is you got to figure out how you communicate the best.
Yes.
How do you communicate the best?
Videos, not talking to the camera. I used to think I communicated well like that. I don't.
Okay.
But I feel like if I can do a video, maybe I'm in it, but not like talking to the camera, maybe voiceover that I did, I feel like I can really get my point across in like a video. I don't think like, I can't like the picture and the caption thing. I used to think that I was a photo plus words guy because I was good at English. And then my girlfriend still makes fun of me because they all started like this. When I was growing up, and then it'd be like something super dramatic, like I always wanted to take a picture of this tree or something like that. So I don't communicate that good with words, man. Maybe on a podcast sometimes, but like writing, I get too melodramatic for some reason.
I'm not a writer guy either.
So video, I communicate best with video.
Okay.
What about you?
I think video as well as I think I can talk to the camera pretty well. I think I practiced a lot, failed a lot at that, and now I think we got something. But let's break down the different apps and right now what's got attention and where, you know, if you're a writer, where you should be putting this stuff.
Right.
So I think first off, we got LinkedIn is one of the things on the list. So we got LinkedIn, and that's where you can go if you're a writer.
People forget about LinkedIn.
People do forget about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of business professionals on there. If you were good at writing and you had a service, I would go provide value to the people that are going to potentially be able to purchase said service.
Right.
You know, if you're, there's a bunch of different ways that you can, you know, twist and, you know, put that copy and whatnot on LinkedIn, but it's a good place to start. I would just go and consume. I just go scroll LinkedIn for a few hours, write some ideas of what's working well for people. There's good organic growth. You don't have to be, you know, you don't have to have 5,000 connections or whatever to go viral.
Right.
You could have someone see it, comment on it, and that shoots it to more people, which is great.
And that's a great idea if you're trying to like navigate a new platform, is just to consume the shit out of it. I mean, we learned this from our friend Nate Norrell, right? He's like, I just consume TikTok for 10 hours a day and now I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Similar with LinkedIn, if you just want to like, if I'm a writer, and I know that I've seen copywriters make a post, it goes viral, and then there's I know people that have gotten just like job offers from big ad agencies like write for us, etc., or wherever you're trying to go.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So that does happen on LinkedIn as well as Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter is another good one.
Great for writers.
Great for writers. If you're a funny guy, you could get a lot of content off on Twitter. They love threads right now. Threads are doing well. If you do something at a high level or you've done something well and you want to share it, you should create a thread on Twitter and say, you know, if you want to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, thread, and do the little thread emoji, and then bang, do your thread 1, 2, 3, 4, and people love that shit.
I don't know why, but it's a thing.
It's going viral though, and I think though, because for example, I've been going on Twitter and I've been just sending myself, like my personal self, so I can go back and look at these threads. Like today, I saw one that was like, if you want to generate wealth investing, follow these 10 steps or whatever. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll listen to that later. So just threw it into my inbox and I'll go check it out if I want to, you know? So I think there's an interesting way for you to communicate with people that want good information fast. If you give them a few bullet points that are good, they're like, oh shit, okay, I'll save this. And maybe they'll throw you a retweet, and then you have 1,000 people now that are seeing it.
And that's the crazy thing about Twitter is that you can retweet shit.
Yeah.
Like you can't retweet on Instagram, TikTok. If you get one retweet, that could lead to 10 retweets, which can lead to 1,000. Like it's just so exponential on Twitter. It's crazy. Beast.
The next stuff, the powerhouse of the ages right now, we got TikTok.
Yeah. Crazy how powerhouse it became.
Yeah, it's insane. So this is a video-based video platform. It's not a photo platform. They have a new feature though that did integrate a little photos. Have you seen it?
I heard about this. I don't really get it.
So basically you would screenshot, or you'd have photos, right? And you could put a song behind your photos, and then you will be able to swipe left or right. So you could, in theory, if you went to say Iceland.
Sure.
Say you went to Iceland and you had a story of like finding said horse and the horse bucked you off. You could put photo of the mountain, photo of the horse, photo of you getting bucked off, photo of you putting your thumb up or something.
IG carousel with music.
IG carousel with music. That's exactly what it is.
That is so goddamn smart. Those motherfuckers.
I know. They're just
so good.
They just do everything. But TikTok right now, great organic reach. You should be posting stuff on there. It is a vertical platform though.
Yes.
So you gotta be making stuff, and people are listening to it with the sound on.
Yeah.
I think back back when we were in college, there was a statistic that 86% of people weren't listening to stuff on Instagram or Twitter with the sound on. So when you're making your videos, we had this thing where our boss would say, turn off the music.
Right.
And he'd say, are you encapsulated in this? Does this make sense? Is it cool? And if the answer was no, we'd have work to go do to make it more eye-catching and engaging, because people would be at work and they're not playing their sound on when they're in their office at 9 to 5, right? Got to know who you're talking to and whatnot. So with TikTok, the sound is on. So that's interesting. You got YouTube. So YouTube, very interesting. We got short and long form, right?
Shorts, YouTube shorts. That's the thing.
Shorts are pumping, and they're going to start paying creators. So it's something to think about. Now, they're not going to just pay you for posting up your first video, which is interesting. Did you know that?
Oh, wait, what?
So they're going to be paying you based off of, you got to have a certain amount of watch time, and you have to have a certain amount of subs, I believe.
And then you can
can get paid. But you know why they're doing that is because I think they want you to not just go hop on the platform and start posting and get bread from the people that have been busting their asses to grow their YouTubes.
And they probably want like retention.
They want retention. Exactly. They want you to stay on YouTube because they want to steal you from the other applications.
And then, just to like reiterate, so like TikTok for video, people that communicate with video,
with video.
Photo as well. Sometimes we've seen like our good friend Evan Naka makes like short form videos about his photography. Yeah. So you can do that, but you do need to know some video communication.
Basic video editing though. You just gotta maybe show, if you're a photographer, maybe show you, setting it up, sprinkling the dust, whatever, and then bam, last frame is the photo, and you're good. Call it a day.
And then TikTok, obviously a lot of video stuff, but guys, let's stay away from the whole like whipping the phone around through the sand and the grass. God. It's just overdone.
We got to stop doing that.
You're going to get made fun of. But YouTube video as well, obviously.
Instagram, we're still rocking with Reels. And if you're going to post a photo, it better be in a carousel or it's not getting seen.
Yeah, what is that, dude? Because the Gen Z kids love just like carousels. Like it's like the corner of that couch and then it's like half of my hand. It's like, you know what I mean?
Gen Z.
It's crazy.
Instagram, what is it? What's the word? It's like, oh, damn. I can't even think of it. It's something aesthetic. It's like a very specific aesthetic.
Oh, I don't know this.
Okay, I don't know it either.
That's what that is, right?
Yeah, it's like oh my gosh, it's on the tip of my tongue. I don't remember what it's called.
They're going for
there's
like
a word for it.
Super realism, but it's like so realism that it's just like abstract and like doesn't make any sense. It's pretty funny.
It's interesting. So Instagram, still video first. If you're posting a video, it probably should be vertical, which is annoying. I know it's annoying, but if you want the most people to have the chance to see it, a reel is probably how you're going to grow that brand, grow that audience. And then I think too on Instagram, if you don't make a feed post that day, it's good to stay in touch with the people that are following you on stories.
Make a story.
Make a story post is fun. Lets them kind of keep up with what you're doing that day. Keeps it engaging. Now Vero, whatever, is a new app that just came out, photo only.
Finally.
So if you're a photographer, this might be where you want to go check out. I've seen a lot of photographers posting about it.
Aaron Burmo is always posting about it. It'll be funny to see funny to see how long it takes for Vero to become video.
They're just like, we bit the bullet.
Yeah.
We swapped on over. Facebook also, I know we've forgotten a lot about Facebook, but Facebook still has good reach and they're pushing out a lot of short form video content.
Especially because there are older people on Facebook that have big jobs that'll probably pay you to do stuff.
There it is. Like, that's a great point. That's a great point. Yeah.
They all run companies.
The big guys at companies, they're probably on Facebook.
Right.
That's a good one. If you're a writer, maybe you make a blog.
Yeah. Oh, blogs still hit, I think.
I personally don't rip blogs. Do you rip blogs?
Well, I can't read, but if I could. No, I know like I've seen like Lena read a blog. I know my mom reads blogs.
Okay, so blogs are still,
which is funny because I remember saying vlogs and I was like, that's funny. It's like a play on blogs. And now I'm like, is blogs a play on vlogs though?
I think what is blog? Yeah, it's a play on vlogs for sure. So, and then last, I'll throw one more in there. I think that if you like to talk, you got the podcast, baby.
Podcast.
Pods are popping, and I think that it's really cool right now about podcasts. If you make a pod, it used to be really hard because you'd have to, to get people to go listen to your pod, you'd have to practically go shake everybody's hand in your whole city to go listen to your pod. Very hard to promote. But now we got video. People are making video podcasts. You can go cut this clip. Every single pod that we do, we get like 48, 50 clips. We have clips for days. So many clips.
Right now, Keon, this could be a clip.
Yeah, this could be a clip, right?
Make a mark.
There's 1,000 clips in this pod, so you can go cut those and then you can distribute them across. You could go put them on TikTok, right? Those are the shorter ones. Then you could have a longer clip that's maybe 3 to 5 minutes that lives on your YouTube. So you can kind of be able to strategize, and then you have all this content for your personal brand. If it's something that you're talking about that aligns, it makes sense. Pods are great.
It's never been easier, like he said, to grow your personal brand.
Yeah, this is the time.
This is the time to do it.
And you don't have to even pay for it right now, which
Right.
is really cool
Which is
if you don't want to,
Right.
you know? But I think you really have to, you got to think about how is it that you can provide value to people that you want to talk to?
Yep.
And that's how you can really start to, you know, grow that personal brand. I remember I was listening to Chris Do. He's the founder of The Future. He's a graphic designer. He talks a lot about business and stuff like that. But he said he was at like 100 or 100K or something, or under 100K on Instagram for years and years. It took him like 10 years to get there. And then he did a study of his content. He goes, dude, we're not really helping enough people.
Right.
That's a big problem here. We're a lot of me. Look at me. Look what we're doing here. So then he flipped it and started to provide value to designers, to business owners, to creatives, and the account soared to over 1 million.
Crazy.
And so he was like, this all started to change when I started to provide value to the people that followed me. So think about how you can provide value to them. You know, it's
so important.
It's very important. But what if you aren't an expert?
Well, if you're not an expert, you're still, if you're doing something full time, if you are a copywriter that has years of agency experience, or you've written something that people even resonate with, maybe just one thing, you're more of an expert than the beginners, right? And they have still things to learn from you. And sometimes it's too far of a reach to learn from things from like experts. Like people always say like MJ like can't teach you shit because he's just naturally so good, and that's why he's like the best ever. So like you'd rather learn from like the guy that's in the G League that just like has gone to all the coaching and can explain like maybe what he's at. So like if you've done some stuff and you've hit some milestones in your career, or say you're even just doing it full time, you've done doing it for a few years, there is a huge pool of people that wish they could be doing that. And you don't have to be an expert. You can just be pretty good at it or have some experience, and to teach all those people so many things that you've learned. Yeah. I know we have this kid, Jacob, that we just started working with at the agency that I'm at. He's like, you know, he's like 21, 22 or whatever. And he actually told me, he's like, man, because he drove down from Oregon the other day, shout out Jacob, to LA. And he was like, I listened to the pod the whole way there. And he's like, I learned so much from you guys. And this guy's like, I mean, he's a great VR. He got a full-time job making videos at his agency. Like he's been doing it for a long time. It's a beast. But there's a lot of things you can learn from just someone that's maybe just done it like a couple more years than you. You don't have to be like fucking super mega expert on Pawn Stars and knows everything.
Totally. Know? And I think that when I was starting, I had this huge like imposter syndrome of making videos, because you see one guy and he's like, yo, what do you know about this? And then you start to kind of doubt yourself and rethink all of these things, right? And my perspective on it totally changed, because I had someone DM me a minute ago that was like pretty damn good that sent me their video or whatever. And I was like, he's like, you taught me so much from X, Y, and Z. I'm like, I think I'm not that much better than you at this, TBH. But he's like, you taught me a ton. So that just should go to show you that you're not talking. I'm not, for example, with all the stuff that we post and that I make, I'm not talking to Roger Deakins. Right. I'm not talking to the biggest dogs in the game. I'm talking to people that are at my level or under my level, you know, because that's where I'm at. I'm not pretending that I'm the GOAT. I'm trying to be the best, you know, but so that's the type of content that we're putting out.
And there's actually a lot you can learn from people that are like your same level. Like we talk about, we just like learn stuff from each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know
all the time. You'll never, I think if you always take the mindset of like continuous growth and that you can learn something from everybody that you meet and that you watch or whatever, you're always going to be able to keep getting better at this. Because there's a billion things to learn. I don't know damn near anything about all the lighting stuff. There's like so much. There's so many things.
Remember when we first got the red?
I barely feel like I can use the camera good right now. I've been doing it for 10 years. I'm like, I got the camera down.
I think I got that shit. Got that down. So then we got the red, and then fucking Good Boy Hike was just like telling us like, nah, you kind of got to do that and then that. And
yeah, like, exactly. You meet a buddy and then he teaches you one thing and you're like, damn, well, there we go. There it is. So it's very interesting. And I think that, you know, you're going to go out and you're going to make content for brands maybe or different businesses. How is it that, what can you do if maybe I don't align with the piece of content that I made? I worked on it. It was really good for them. Yeah. But for me, it's not really good. What should you do?
Because I've been there a lot where like, I'm like, okay, I want to grow my personal brand. I want to make stuff that fits in my personal brand, which is like make a video for myself, right? But I got bills to pay. You know, I got food to eat. I got to make videos for clients
food to eat,
all the time.
Love Island to watch.
Exactly. A lot of Love Island to watch. Expensive, you know? Hulu memberships, not free any day. So fucking, I'm making videos for work constantly and like zero time to make personal videos now. But some of the shots, and like say I make it and it's cool, but it's like, yeah, this doesn't really belong on my website. It doesn't really fit with like what I'm trying to do here. You know what I mean? It's not like the artistic reach that I'm going for, but the client, that's what they want, right? So then after the fact, you deliver that. It doesn't fit in your website, but you can make a director's cut, which is a thing that everyone should be really doing, because then you can show like, okay, this is the footage that I got that I thought was cool. And like, this is my taste now. This is who I am. This is how I would have done it. And you can post that on your website. And that way you don't have to go and shoot this whole other personal video that you don't get paid for. You got paid, and it's just like in a little extra edit day, probably like one, because you've already gone through all the footage. And then that fits your personal brand, and that can really help grow your library of what your personal brand is in terms of video. But it can also be terms from other stuff. Anything you're doing for a client, you can say like, okay, that was good, and now I'm just gonna make a couple of changes to make it actually fit who I am.
Definitely. At Oregon, I remember sometimes we'd have to use like a track from a royalty-free sound. The Bfiggy brand's fast and loud. I'm not gonna post some trash ass song from a royalty-free site. So I'd go put like a sick song, maybe like a Travis Scott or a Drake behind it, because that's the kind of guy, that's the type of stuff that I'm listening to, that I'm about right then. So then I'd go make that video, and it's a completely different video than the one that I delivered. And that's okay. You can do that. You're allowed to do that.
You're allowed to do it, and you should.
Yeah, and I think one more thing that you can do is, it's also, social's the easiest. It's free, whatever. Yeah. Right. You also have like the guerrilla tactic,
which we love,
of growing your personal brand, guerrilla marketing, baby. So you go meet somebody, you're out at a bar, or you're out to dinner with somebody, and they're asking you what you do. I do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, you should maybe check it out. And who knows? You might get one guy from the real in-person interaction that works, and now they're following your stuff, whatever. You go meet somebody. It's the most powerful thing you got. It's word of mouth.
Totally.
If you can meet somebody and they can tell you, you can tell them what you do, and they're like, oh, okay, I'll go check this out. Like, word of mouth is still very, very powerful. Or, you go meet with somebody, you tell them what you do. They go back home and they like your piece of video. They're going to go tell their buddy. It's like, okay, if my friend tells me to go look at it, I'll probably go look at said thing. Right.
Yeah, I think it's so important. Like, kind of going off that, meeting people, like we talk a lot about, like on this podcast, we meet people who are guests, and like maybe one of us knows them, but the other two don't. And all of a sudden, we all three like have a great connection with someone that does something similar in our field. That's like really cool. That and then moving forward, maybe you want to make something with them later, and you guys can collaborate or whatever, which really expands. Then their audience is seeing your stuff, your audience is seeing their stuff, and you can like you could do those shared Instagram posts you can do nowadays, and that's just a great way to expand, is to collab with people like-minded.
Definitely. There's tons of like networking events in your town, and I get it. I'm not personally, right? When you go to those networking events, they give me a little bit of anxiety.
Oh God, yeah.
A lot of people going, a lot of people talking and shit. There's a lot of stuff going on, but I think that, you can weasel your way into those rooms. For example, you don't even have to pay. You could be like, hey, I'll record this for you guys for free.
Right. And
then you get to weasel your way in, and you can see if it's something you want to pay to do. And then you be like, you could talk to a bunch of people, introduce yourself, pass out a business card or whatever. And then you're growing your personal brand that way by these people like, oh, I met Mike and he does video, and maybe he'll give you a call in a month and he'll like ask you to do something.
Totally, right? Dude. That happens a lot, I feel like. I remember I made a video in college that was like for like free for this thing, and then like one of the girls that was in it, her like dad, like it was like, I met him like at a bar like 2 days later. He was like visiting, and he's like, oh, I saw that video. He's like, you should like do this thing for, and then I like shot something for this company. It was awesome. You never know like where it's gonna land, but like it's really important to do shit like that.
Lots of YouTubers I know, when they first come out to LA, a lot of them do this thing where I call it clout chasing, low key, but they just kind of hop onto other people's videos
all the time,
right? And they're collaborating with these people's audiences, and maybe they get a few or whatever. Is very interesting.
Well, do you remember when Will Smith launched his YouTube channel? He was just on every YouTube channel. He was on Casey Neistat, Logan Paul, Yes Theory.
Setting them all up.
He just went on every single one.
Let me pop on all of them.
That was crazy, dude.
No, yeah, a lot of YouTubers do that. You'll notice it in a lot of videos, but something that I think is interesting that you can do, if you don't have to be a YouTuber to do this, right? You could be just a working professional. Right. And I think what you can do if you make good enough stuff, and you're at a solid level that of another person who's at a similar skill level, similar reach, whatever, you could hit them up and be like, yo, I had this idea for a video. Would you like to collaborate on it together? If you were good, I'm telling you, this is a very, very tricky waters. Because if you send someone a DM that does this shit full time and they're really busy, they're never going to respond to you. They're never going to open it. Right. But if you find someone when you're coming up and when you're at a similar skill level with them, if you have a good enough idea, and it's like, it's like solid, it's thought through.
Totally.
they're down probably to do it with you because it's another portfolio piece.
Right.
It's
fun.
It's fun. Yeah. They were trying to grow their brands, trying to grow making videos. So
you
something
gotta be on a similar level.
Very important though. Similar level, you're going to get left on red. People aren't going to respond to you. But like I remember when we were starting, someone at school at Oregon, we were like, hey, I have this idea. Would you maybe want to help me with it? We're both college students. We're trying to grow our portfolios, and it was a yes. And we made something cool. And then we both get a cool piece on our portfolio.
Right.
He can do something that I wasn't able to do. And I'm like, well, I could do this. So that's how we can kind of come together and make this work.
Totally.
There's got to be a give and take for both parties.
Totally. Totally.
And I think that as far as like growing these brands, right? We told you where to post. We've told you kind of what to talk about and whatnot. You hear all the gurus on YouTube and on Instagram. They're like, post every day, post every single day.
Right.
I'm telling you, these guys all got teams of people. Right. They're hiring people to post the Gary V, Alex Ramosi, all those guys.
A lot easier when you got a whole team.
When you got a whole team of people making you stuff, it's a lot easier, right? So you need to think, how is it that I can be consistent today and still show up as often as I can while keeping my sanity? We don't want you guys to burn out. We don't want anybody to burn out with this stuff.
So yeah, you just gotta like make a commitment to yourself. Like I'll post once a week, or even if it's once every 2 weeks or whatever. Just stick to that though.
Yeah.
Make one plan and stick to it. And if you, what do they say? Like if you miss it once, just never miss it twice.
There it is.
Like
get right back on the horse.
Get right back on the horse.
Get back on the horse and keep making stuff that you're aligning with.
This podcast, hard to stay consistent.
Yeah.
But we do it. And we never miss 2 in a row.
No.
We've missed one. I think we missed like twice maybe.
Something like that.
But we always come back, man.
We come right
Look
back.
at us, dude. You think we're both traveling tomorrow? Come on.
Yeah, you think we're leaving? Are you leaving tomorrow?
I think I do have another shoot tomorrow that I just found out about like yesterday. But it's not far. But it's fucking annoying.
Jeez. Yeah. So you're just out on the town.
On the town always. But anyways, stay consistent if you can. I mean, no, not if you can. Just do it.
Yeah, just do
pick
it.
Something that you can stick to though.
Yes.
Don't kill yourself.
Yes.
Like Casey did. He almost like got divorced.
But now he's back with all this stuff, right? It's easy. I made a really cool like vlog the other day, Lakers vlog. I'm like, this is the coolest video I made in so long. And it doesn't go off.
Right.
It doesn't go off, which is fine, because you got to take your own advice on this and say like, I made it because I liked it. And that's true. Like I liked the video. I put it out in the world. The world can decide like what it is they want to do with the video. But the only thing you can do, the only 2 things you can do is you can bitch about it not doing well. And then you can show up again the next day and keep on moving forward.
And that's the only thing that's going to get you anywhere.
Yeah. Right? Because I think about it like, we're on like a mountain,
right?
We're on a mountain. Everybody's on one.
Yeah.
And if we keep posting, we get to put one more foot up the mountain.
Totally.
But if we don't, we slide down like 3 or 4 steps
every time.
Every time, but not one step, like 3 or 4 you slide down when you don't do it. And so then when you start again, you're going up 1 step,
right?
One baby step.
And sure, like maybe a video goes off and that's like counts as like 10 steps.
Yeah.
But then if you just say like, okay, sick.
Then like you slide back down again. Exactly. So you gotta just
keep putting one foot in the other. Get a lot of at bats.
Yeah. ABs. You're all up there for ABs. And I think what's cool with social is you get unlimited ABs.
Right.
You can get unlimited at bats.
Literally unlimited.
But we can't have you sitting on the bench for like a week straight, 2 weeks straight, and then we're like, yo, dude, you're on the injury reserve now. Right. Okay. I need you to get back on the field. Last thing on the list today. How do you get ideas for making stuff for your personal brand?
Yes. Important, because you gotta, if you're gonna grow it, you gotta have something to show for it.
Yeah, right? we gotta have a little bit of a plan before you go to do it. Right, just a tiny plan. Don't waste like months on your plan.
Right,
just go scroll for there's a very slippery slope here. Yes. So go. What I think I would do is I would go look at what the best people are doing and said niche that you're kind of, if you're like, oh, I want to be a self-help guy.
Right.
Okay, let me go look at the guys like Tony Robbins or all those guys that are talking about self-help, and that's their huge thing on their personal brands. Go look at what they're doing, take 1 to 3 things from them, 1 to 2, 3 things, and then be like, okay, let's go to another guy or another girl and say, oh, he or she's doing this. I'm going to take that. Thank you. And then we got like 10 things in our arsenal that we can talk about, and we can kind of play off of those. A lot of these guys are saying the same shit over and over and repackaging it 177 different ways, and they're throwing it at you. And that's their personal brand. They're talking about the same few things.
Right.
It doesn't need, you don't need to be talking about a whole book of shit.
Right.
Just pick a few things that you're about and that you like, and stick to them. Hammer it.
Yeah.
Full court press offense.
I think you're just completely right. I honestly think that's like what the whole thing is like, and even say relating it back to like video, I feel like a lot of people do, like take a few things from your favorite directors, and you don't have to take everything, but like even I saw this commercial and I literally was like, I need to screen record that, and I clipped it because I was like, I'm gonna have this weird shot of this car that I'd never really seen it shot like that before, but I'm like, I'm gonna probably use that, not that exact shot, but I'm gonna make that.
I'm
shot
gonna make the chase
else.
version of it.
And then that now I'm like, I'm just gonna include that in my personal brand of like how I shoot stuff. Like you can always be taking stuff. And don't steal, but like, I mean, get inspired at least.
Steal like an artist.
Exactly.
Steal one or two things and no one's ever going to cry.
So find things that you like and then just try to make them. Try to recreate them in your own way. And now you have ideas for content that you can use for your personal brand.
I love that. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this has been an incredible episode. We've talked to you a lot about how you can grow that personal brand. So I want you to go all out on this and really invest your time and energy into thinking about how you can grow it, thinking about what it is that you want to talk about, who do you want to communicate it to. We've given you all the apps that have the attention right now. So now you got to go put it out into the world, put it out in the universe.
If you're not going to do it now, you're never going to do it.
Now or never. Now or never. The best time to do it was yesterday. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the 505 Pod. Make sure to drop a like, drop a comment, hit the sub button because 68% of you aren't subscribed. They're listening to the YouTube. So go subscribe and we'll see you guys all next time. Peace.
Bye.